So the educational system, a place called school where they teach you, to read certain books, to pass each grade leveling up, to follow a certain path that once you graduate, you are then taught to forcefully go and pick a career that you're supposed to work at for the next 40 to 60 years of your entire lives. This is the same exact path that every one of us are taught when we have been through that transition of going through high school. Now it sounds fine and dandy and whatnot, and for the majority of people on this earth, it fits about 90% of them, okay? But you see, there's also that little 10% of people that aren't meant for this type of lifestyle. There are those 10% of people that instead of just wanting to follow the traditional path of going to school, getting a job, and retiring, they want to do something else way more than just that, okay? These are the type of people that they want to go out there, they want to create, they want to do something way more than just for themselves. Following this traditional path isn't the right path for these people. And these type of people, guys, are known as entrepreneurs. Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So on this video, I'm going to go over real quick on how the school system just completely fails entrepreneurs, okay? Because we all know for a fact that the educational system, guys, is a place that is meant to create really great workers in the workforce, okay? But there's also a major problem when it comes to the educational system when it comes to entrepreneurs. So on this video, I'm going to go over on some of the few things that I personally believe on how the school system is failing entrepreneurs every single day, guys, okay? Now, before we get straight into the video, guys, as always, you know the drill. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let's jump in straight into the video without wasting any more of your valuable time. Now listen, guys, when it comes to the school system, I'm not against it completely, but of course, if you were to put this on a percentage scale, me against the school system is around 80 to 20%, okay? So it's extremely high that I'm against the school system, or at least the way that it is right now. Now, for the majority of people, guys, the school system is designed to train you, to keep you disciplined, to follow the rules, and do as you're told, okay? That way, once you jump out of high school, you jump straight into college, and when you jump straight out of college, you go straight into the workforce, into the career that you've chosen, and you just do what you're told and get paid a simple paycheck, come home, enjoy your time off, and then just repeat the same process over and over again, okay? Now, there's nothing completely wrong with it, okay? There are a few people who are okay with that lifestyle and are happy, so there's nothing wrong with that. Now, the problem I have with this school system is that it fails entrepreneurs every single day because the school system isn't meant to train entrepreneurs. And that's a major problem because you have kids in there who are rebellious, who don't want to do what the school system tells them, who skip school, who end up getting into drugs, who make money, probably selling drugs and whatnot. And why? Because the school system is teaching these kids who have that potential entrepreneur spirit in them to be a worker, And when you mix the two, guys, it just doesn't clash right, okay? And the more sad part is that the school system doesn't even bother bringing the awareness of what an entrepreneur actually is. So even if those kids do have that entrepreneur spirit in them, it may never come out because, again, guys, you have the school system pushing this same traditional path over and over again every single year, every single school year, and it pushes down that entrepreneur spirit even more. Therefore, they are never actually able to expose it out into the real world. And for all we know, guys, it could be the next Jeff Bezos or the next Bill Gates that's in that kid. But because we push the same traditional path down their throat, guys, this is an extremely important problem here. Now, just a quick flashback. Back when I was in high school, I wasn't even fully aware that I had these entrepreneur, traits in me and whatnot. Better yet, I never even heard of the word entrepreneur throughout my whole school years. The first time I ever heard that word entrepreneur was on that movie by 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. Maybe some of you have seen it, maybe some of you have not. But that was the first time I ever heard that word was on that movie. Now, I never bothered to look up what that was exactly, not because I was a little kid and whatnot, so it never bothered me to, look it up. But it also stuck with me because I was like, I wonder what that could actually mean, but I never bothered Googling it. So it's really sad that the school system can't even teach you just the word entrepreneur at all, like to even bring the awareness out there. Which brings me back to high school and how it went for me. Because you see, starting around 9th or 10th grade, there was this thing in me just like that I didn't even care about going to school, like I wasn't even paying attention to the classes half the time. And there would be times when I would skip school and whatnot, just go, chill with some friends and whatnot. But I really didn't give a crap about what school was actually teaching me because it just seemed like the same repetitive stuff to me, okay? None of it interested in me. And I would always rebel against the teachers and whatnot. They would put me in, I don't know, I forgot what it was called, like ISS or something like that, you know, where all the bad kids go because they don't do what they're told. And you know, I've been thinking about that so much ever since I graduated from high school, because it got me to thinking like, man, half those kids that were bad might have just had that entrepreneur trait in them, you know. And because the school system doesn't expose these things to them, they end up, you know, doing the things that school goes against. So on top of me skipping and whatnot, what actually stopped me from skipping school so much was the fact that I decided, hey, I'm gonna start selling burnt CDs and whatnot. So I started flipping some of those. It didn't go too well. And then I started trying to flip some gum and whatnot, but people, you know, people are cheap. They would rather you give it to them for free and whatnot. And from there I expanded to selling snacks and whatnot, which went really, really well. And from that point on, when I started making money selling snacks, it actually kept me in school because I was actually making money in school, you know. Plus, every time I applied for a job, nobody would hire me, okay? So I figured, you know, I had to make money some way. And if no one was hiring me, well then I had to take matters into my own hands, okay? But here I was, you know, this young, I think 16, 17-year-old in high school, hustling out here in school, flipping snacks, trying to flip CDs and whatnot, skipping school, not even paying attention. And a lot of these traits, guys, are really relatable to what an entrepreneur actually is. So in all honesty, guys, I mean, the school system was really failing me, because instead of trying to expose my traits and, you know, explain to me why I was doing what I was doing, all they did was punish me for doing the things that I did. Because I remember when teachers wouldn't like it when I would sell snacks, you know, they would thought I was flipping drugs and whatnot, and they would call the principal, and then the principal would have cops on me, and they would search my backpack. And I've been caught like multiple times, and each time they would either take my snacks away or just tell me to stop doing it. But of course, I didn't care, so I kept doing it over and over, and I just really didn't pay attention, okay? And I especially didn't like taking orders from none of the principals or teachers. So you can imagine what kind of kid I was in high school, right? Which brings me to my point, guys, that there are a lot of kids who have those entrepreneur traits in them that go through the same thing, if not even worse, okay? I know a few people who end up going into, you know, drug dealing hardcore, and now they're out there, you know, struggling every single day, going through things, trying to make meets ends by, you know, selling certain things because they don't want to get a job, okay? They don't want to be told what to do. And it's because of that exact reason, guys, why I do also personally believe that a lot of these drug dealers, if they were taught about entrepreneurship in high school, a lot of them might have been prevented from going down this dangerous dark path down the road. But that's going to be a different video for a different time, okay? So again, the school system, you know, it keeps pushing down, you know, get a job, you need to study to get a job down your throat to all of these entrepreneur type of kids. But half these kids aren't even aware about it, okay? So I think it's extremely important for the school system to bring some form of awareness to some of these kids, regardless if they end up being an entrepreneur or not. Because some of these kids might not even be an entrepreneur, okay? They might just not like being told what to do, or just not want to follow that traditional path all the way, okay? But it also pushes down that school is the only path to success, that there is nothing else in this world that you can do that will bring you the closest thing to success, unless you get a piece of paper, okay? So that if in any way that you're different from everyone else because you don't want to do what they are doing, well then you're just labeled as weird, a loser, you know, that you're gonna be nothing when you grow up. And therefore, that's why you have a lot of kids who end up dropping out of high school, because I mean, you push these things down some of these kids who don't need to be taught these things either, okay? I do think though that for most entrepreneurs, all they need to learn is the basics of at least math, science, history, and English. At least the basics of it. And after you teach them these 4 main subjects, guys, then at least bring in the awareness of actually, you know, starting businesses, being able to do something different than just what everybody else is doing, okay? That a piece of paper does not guarantee success for them. Because if the school system keeps trying to push this agenda of doing the traditional route every single time, they will rebel even more against it. And again, guys, some of these kids will end up going down that dark hole of doing certain illegal activities. And this is how the school system fails entrepreneurs every single day. Now, I just want to say real quick that this was back in 2012 when I graduated, around that time frame. So maybe the school system is a little bit different on entrepreneurship. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not really 100% sure. It's been forever since I've been to a high school. So if some of you do know how the system works, let me know in the comment section below, guys, okay? Let me know if they're actually exposing it more, or if they don't even bother at all. Because again, this is an extremely important subject that needs to be taken into hands. And thankfully we have YouTube, Google, and all these internet platforms and whatnot that can actually bring more exposedness to us. And whether you take the information in or not is really entirely up to you. In fact, it was actually because of these platforms that it actually brought my full awareness of what I actually was, okay? Because you see, on every job that I went, I hated being told what to do. In fact, the only reason I got my first job in the first place was because I had my first daughter, okay? Dad and my father made me go work with him, so I mean, there was that also. But that whole time I was there, and then the other jobs after that, you know, I just hated it. Like, I hated being told what to do. I hated going in at the exact same time and just taking orders from someone else. So thankfully, once I stumbled upon YouTube and Google and whatnot, and I was actually being exposed to what an entrepreneur was and what the business world actually meant, that completely started resonating with me so much, because I always had these characteristics since I was in high school, middle school and whatnot. So thankfully, I learned early on because of these internet platforms, and I'm really hoping the school educational system can bring something almost exactly the same in the near future to some of these kids, because guys, I mean, it's extremely important to expose entrepreneurship to a lot of these kids, and not in the fake way that a lot of these kids are actually learning. You know, having Lambos, 3-story houses, parties, laying on the beach every day. I mean, that's just not it, guys, okay? Trust me, I got a video for all the fake entrepreneurs coming soon, so be on the lookout for that video as well. Now, one of the best ways that I can see the educational system by helping these children that are considered bad, weird, not normal, whatever you want to call them, you know, just the kids that are always underdogged in these bad circumstances in these different classes, is by creating a certain course, class, whatever you want to call it, and just throwing them in there and exposing them to what entrepreneurship actually is. Now, of course, I'm not saying that every kid that is bad or whatnot is going to be an entrepreneur, but a lot of these children do seem to show some of the symptoms of an entrepreneur. And what better way than exposing them to what, you know, the other side of the grass is? That instead of showing them the same traditional crap that they throw us in a classroom and we learn like that, they expose them to real life skills, real life businesses from actual real life people, and showing them how the life is. And maybe, just maybe, some of these children will, you know, be more aware of who they are. Because if we can detect early who is and isn't an entrepreneur while in high school, then that's a better step right now than what the educational system is, instead of just punishing some of these children. But not only that, guys, the earlier that you know what entrepreneurship is and how the lifestyle really is, and not what Instagram portrays it to be, the earlier that you will realize that hey, maybe it isn't for you, you know? Maybe you're better off sticking to a 9-to-5 job, which there's nothing absolutely wrong with that, okay, guys? And therefore, you'll know earlier at an earlier age. And from there, you have a better understanding of deciding whether even going to college is right for you. Because now that you know entrepreneurship isn't for you, then maybe you should stick to college and follow the 9-to-5 path, okay? This is just one simple method from my own opinion that I personally believe could actually improve the educational system and not failing all these entrepreneurs, okay? So hopefully somewhere in the near future, guys, the school system can do better. But again, it is designed to build workers, so it might not ever end up happening just because you know how the system and government and economics and all that works. But if not, there's at least YouTube, Google and everything to expose it even better. So hopefully our future generation of children have a better exposure to it more, which I think I'm slowly starting to see, okay? I'm starting to see more entrepreneur stuff out here in the world. So kids are being more exposed to it, but definitely not through the school system, okay? And when you have a children going to school being forced to learn this traditional path when they don't even want to learn it, I just think that's complete bullshit in my honest opinion. But anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you learned a thing or two, and hopefully you brought some awareness on how the educational system fails entrepreneurs. This is a major problem that is going on, and hopefully it is something that can be resolved in the near future. If not, we have Google and YouTube, right, guys? The two biggest platforms in the world right now. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you feel like the school system fails entrepreneurs, or do you think it's keeping up to date nowadays? Again, I don't know, I haven't been in school in forever. Or just let me know what you think personally on this topic as well, alright guys? But as always, guys, you know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, alright guys? Later.